32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
My head's so far away.
Mornings are for dreamers.
I'm a dreamer, yes, I'm a dreamer. Oh,
The break of dawn for champions.
champion, champion, champion,
On 32 FM 94.9.
Great time to be back on a Monday morning. Good morning to you and thank you for joining us on another edition of the Breakdown Newspaper Review, the first, in this week. My name is Olutayo Guade. Of course, welcome once again. We are live on YouTube. You can connect with us on YouTube, 32FM 949. About updates from newspapers across the country and even beyond, you get to listen to on the program today. We'll also be in conversation with Dr. Lord Jedoko, who is a lawyer, for some analysis. Chike is here.
All right, my name is Chike Ubogo. Good morning, dear listeners. Good to be back on radio this week. And it's time for the Break of Dawn Newspaper Review. We're on YouTube at 32FM 949 Ibadan. You can also join the conversation later on. In case you're a first-time listener, the numbers to call 0705 5000 949 080 7000 949. I have the Punch newspaper, the Nation newspaper, and the Daily Post newspaper with me this morning.
All right, from Daily Trust newspaper. Despite widespread killings, defense chief claims security threats going down. Army general, how Zulum helps troops without being asked. Okay, still from Daily Trust. Abubakar's penalties earn Cameroon comeback victory in AFCON 2021 opener. Governor's security votes balloon as insecurity worsens. That's according to a report. Another one here from Daily Trust newspaper. The last interview Bashir Tofa on his life, politics, and Nigeria. Improving Nigeria's economy through agriculture. That was the later. You can also check that out. 3 officers die as police van crashes in Abuja. The sound one there. More headline from Daily Trust. Remembrance Day. Sanwo-Olu wants support for security forces. Shareholders divided as banks incur 211.63 billion naira AMCON charges. Ekiti governorship. APC fixes January the 27th for primary poll. Aggrieved APC members shelve planned protest against Boni's committee. How we're addressing estimated billing, metering issues at Ketco. Northern Group urges Buhari to reconsider INEC Commissioner's nomination.
All right, starting off with the Punch newspaper this morning. Front page bold headline: Enforce compulsory vaccination for local government, state workers. Federal government tells governors. With the riders, NPHCDA urges states to set up mass vaccination sites in markets. Others, vaccination grounds at 42%, 38 deaths recorded first week of January. More headlines from the Punch newspaper. Senate probes 14.7 billion naira PHCN privatization fund in secret accounts. Federal government excessive borrowing from CBN threatens exchange rates. Others, that's coming from a report. You can find that on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. Capital importation falls by 1.68 trillion naira, says CBN. Federal government issues Lassa fever alert. Death toll hits 102. Cases now 4,632. convention. APC awaits peace panel reports. Aggrieved members list conditions. Kuka's invitation. Summon Gumi for hobnobbing with bandits. Christian youths tell DSS. Kuka's invitation. Summon Gumi for hobnobbing with bandits. Christian youth tell DSS. More headlines here from the Punch newspaper. Grandpa, Brazil returnee, undergraduates arrested with cocaine, tramadol, cannabis. I removed my second testicle to kill sexual urge. UI 500 level medicine dropout. Commercial bus driver stabs lover's husband to death in Ogun State. And lastly, from the Punch newspaper, Akeredolu vows to end herdsmen attacks in Ondo State.
From Premium Times, Lagos nurses set to call off strike on Monday as Sanwo-Olu grants requests. More from that side, strike, Lagos nurses walkout and commissioners orders. As Buhari speaks on performance, 218 killed across Nigeria last week. Governor congratulates Buhari after 31 kidnapped victims are freed by bandits 6 months after. Buhari condemns massacre of about 200 villagers in Zamfara. Ekiti 2022, APC postpones governorship primary election. Why we exonerated Darwin College students, others DPP. COVID-19, Nigeria records 1 death, 766 infections on Saturday. 2023, Sanusi urges Nigerians to get voters card, elect competent leaders. Lagos hands over iconic Glover Hall to Olu Jacob Theatre Company. FIFA World Cup playoff, Eagles to no opponent on the 22nd of January. Aggrieved members file suit against APC's convention, Boni's leadership, and 10 deadly attacks in Nigeria in 2021.
Right from the Daily Post this morning, first story here, FA Cup. Arteta slams Arsenal stars after shocking 1-0 defeat to Forest. And more headlines. Herders are becoming problematic. They'll pay for attacking, raising Ondo community. That's coming from the governor. That's Akeredolu Sooth. Governor Wike declares 19 wanted for oil bunkery. Queries director for alleged involvement. Sacrifices of soldiers. Peak of patriotism. That's coming from Akeredolu there. Army clears air on alleged killing of 2 soldiers, 7 miners during gun battle in Katsina State. Boko Haram ISWAP. Nigerian Army reveals Zulum's impact in Borno. Kwara State. NSCDC commandant frowns at headers farmers clashes. Hoodlums vandalize poles, steal street lights, cables in Ogun State. That's from the governor. Hoodlums vandalize poles, steal street light cables in Ogun State. Over 50 herders armed with AK-47 killed a village head. Others razed our houses. That's a Molege residents there. The pictures are there on the Daily Post newspaper. The Delta Cron. Cyprus discovers combination of Delta and Omicron COVID-19 variants.
What is that? I hope you're not telling us the new variant is...
Well, that's from Cyprus, not in Africa yet, but that's a combination, a combo of Delta variant and the Omicron variant.
How do they coin names for these things?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to start giving you facts that I don't have handy. Well, the headline says Delta Cron. Cyprus discovers combination of Delta and Omicron COVID-19 variants. EPL, Abramovich to sell Chelsea star. Who's the star? You get to find out soon. Zamfara massacre. Atiku reacts to wastage of lives. Senseless killings. Okay, AFCON started yesterday and Cameroon wins first match. Okay, Ondo, Amotekun nabs 600 suspected criminals impounds over 550 cars in 2 weeks. And lastly from here, Eha Lumana leaders, monarchs, others thank Governor Gwai for projects and empowerment. These are some headlines from the Daily Post.
All right, let's take some more from The Guardian. Nigeria in crisis as debt stock hits 25 trillion naira in 7 years. Cameroon takes on Burkina Faso in AFCON 2022 opener. They warned that wooden bridges as connections in the smart city. APC convention blues, how Adamu's committee holds the ACs. Let me check that again. APC convention blues, how Adamu's committee holds the ACs. Presidency, stakeholders weigh options over CBN's escrowing of Disco's accounts. That will be all from the Guardian newspaper. Let me take one or two more from Daily Times. Take a stand, challenge evil. Oshibajo charges Nigerians. That's from Daily Times. Take a stand, challenge evil. Oshibajo charges Nigerians. Senate uncovers 14.7 billion naira proceeds of defunct PHCN hidden in commercial banks. Police nab Kaduna women ferrying girls to terrorists for sex. We'll go on a first commercial break. We will be back.
bọ́dún bá ti dé pèrègùn amáwọ̀ tuntun wọ̀. ìdí nìyí tí iléeṣẹ́ Titan Farms kárí ayé ṣe ń kí gbogbo oníbàárà wa àti gbogbo olùbádókòwò pọ̀ kó àmójúbà ọdún tuntun 2022. wọ́n ní tá a bá ṣọdún èyí tán á tún ṣẹ̀mí nínú àlàáfíà àwọn ìdẹ̀ra. bí iléeṣẹ́ Titan Farms ṣe wá ń kí wa kó àmójúbà ọdún tuntun ni wọ́n tún dúpẹ́ ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ tó fi mú àtìlẹ́yìn tí gbogbo wa ń ṣe lóòrèkóòrè. wọ́n ní bá a ṣe ṣe lọ́dún tó kọjá ká tún ṣe jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ lọ́dún yìí ká lè bá a jèrè bá a ṣe ń fẹ́. wọ́n lọ́dọọdún ní sápóorúwé ọdọọdún ní màrìwò ṣọ̀ṣọ́ ọdún òní dùn kọ́mọ òbí ó má gborí igbá. lọ́dún 2022 yìí igbá alẹ́ alẹ́ àwọlé òní pẹ̀dín àtàwọn àti yín àjọrí tajé ṣe àríbá ti ṣe àárọ̀ náà gbégbà ire gbogbo ni ó sì bá wa gbé. Happy New Year 2022 Titan Farms ló ń kí gbogbo wa kú àmójúbà ọdún tuntun.
It's the time of the year. Come, let's chill together. Pop Chivita, make we jolly. Ooh, yeah. All over Naija, anywhere you day. Share Chivita with your family and friends. Enjoy this Christmas. Oh, oh, oh. Let's celebrate with Chivita. Ooh, yeah.
Juice up this season with the special Chivita Christmas packs available in stores near you.
Africa's greatest football tournament is here. Watch all 52 AFCON games live in perfect picture quality on DSTV with expert analysis. What's more, with the DSTV app, you can experience every moment at home or on the go from the 9th of January to the 6th of February 2022. Get an HD decoder, dish, and 1 month DSTV compact subscription for only 13,900 naira and come alive to the Total Africa Cup of Nations 2021 live and in HD on Supersport, your world of champions.
Oh yeah, rock your body. Everybody jolly. Dance here for the matter. Spread the love for the area. Share the joy with golden penny. Yeah. Celebrate with golden penny. Yeah. Oh yeah, Auntie Shade. Auntie Uncle Jaye. Everybody they jolly. Now golden penny for the family. Oh Baba, it's the season of love. Oh baby, it's the season of togetherness.
Season's greetings from Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC, owners of the iconic food brand Golden Penny.
Welcome back from the commercial break. 32 FM 94.9, the station that is filling the world with laughter. I am Olutayo Gwade, and I welcome you again to the Papers Review.
All right, I am Chike Ubogu. Good morning, dear listener. And we'll just be joined by Dr. Oluojedokun via a phone call. Doctor, good morning. It's good to have you this morning. Hello, doctor. Okay,
Right.
we'll try to establish contact with doctor anytime soon. But before that, let's read out some more headlines as we fix that up.
Okay, we take this one here from Premium Times. It's a sad story. You will agree with me. Buhari condemns massacre of about 200 villagers in Zamfara. President Buhari has expressed outrage at the latest reports of several villagers being massacred by escaping terrorists in Zamfara. Gabashew, the president's media aide, in a statement on Saturday in Abuja, said the president, who was reacting to the report of the large-scale killing, said, and I quote, "The latest attacks on innocent people by the terrorists is an act of desperation by mass murderers now under relentless pressure from our military forces who are well equipped to effectively confront these enemies of humanity." It's a long story from Premium Times, but the headline here read, Buhari condemns massacre of about 200 villagers in Zamfara.
Doctor, good morning. Okay, we're still yet to establish contact with Dr. Olu Ojedokun right now. But let's look at this story here. It's a sad one in Ibadan here. It says gunmen kill POS operator in Ibadan and rob wife. Gunmen have killed Said Lawal, a point-of-sale operator in the Bako area of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. That's around the Akpata end. Lawal was killed on Friday night shortly after returning home. The cable reports that 3 armed men stormed his house at about 7:30 p.m. and shot him in the chest at a close range in the presence of his wife. It was learned that the killers came on a motorcycle. There's a quote here: the deceased, about 40 years old, was shot at close range in his house a few minutes after returning home from the mosque. A community leader was quoted as saying, Lawal was a POS operator in the community and financial secretary of the area's landlord association. And it goes on and on and on. The report says 2 of the killers escaped on a motorcycle that brought them, while the other that was stranded scared residents away with gunshots and escaped through a nearby bush. At the headline here, gunmen kill POS operator in Ibadan, rob wife. That's the headline from the Nation newspaper. Very sad story.
Another one here from Inside Oyo. Students of the University of Ibadan living at hostels of the campus as well as residents of areas adjoining the university are in fear as armed robbers shot dead a motorcyclist in the area. According to the Punch, some of the students on Sunday that said they were traumatized by the early morning invasion, which forced some of the students to flee the area. The fear of the students was heightened as a result of the Saturday night robbery involving an Okada rider. From Inside Oyo, Okada rider killed as robbers attack UIs of campus hostels again.
Hello, doctor. Let's see if we can establish this. Can you hear us?
Yes, at the top of the morning to you. Yes, I'm here.
Good morning, Doc.
Yes, top of the morning to you.
All right, the first headline that was reeled out the other time, the president condemning the massacre of about 200 villages in Zamfara State. A sad story. Black weekend in Nigeria.
Yes, a black weekend in Nigeria, but for some of them it wasn't black because we do know that over the weekend the vice president and some dignitaries in Bauchi, which is not too far from the area, attended the wedding. I think the response of the government is quite predictable, but the solution has not been predictable at all. They've not been able to find a solution. The bandits or the terrorists, as they are described now, are baring their teeth and they are showing that they can strike at will, they can maim, they can kill, and they can massacre. This is a massacre. It's unspeakable. And the question we ask is, apart from the strategy, we don't see much of an empathy. Yes, we see the statement, but where's the empathy? Where's the visitation? Where's the presence of the federal government? Simply, the strategy of the federal government is not working. The jamming of the mobile network hasn't stopped them. The use of the Tucano jets hasn't stopped them. It must then mean, you understand, even the change of the service chiefs hasn't stopped them. So it must mean that the strategy is not working and the government needs to do something, and something fast, or else the whole of the North, or that part in particular, continues to develop as a killing field. 200 people being killed in one day is something unspeakable.
Now, I recall we spoke about this last week, and we read that these guys operated for over 48 hours unchallenged, okay? And that bothers the mind, and also the federal government referring to them as fleeing bandits. How do you marry that?
Well, if they were fleeing, then how are they able to operate at will, operate without any disturbance, without any hindrance? I mean, I think the more charitable explanation is that the security forces are simply overwhelmed and are simply unable to cope with them, and they are simply too stretched. And of course, when the question was put to the Mr. President about the issue of state police, even though I'm not really a proponent of it, I've always been a proponent of regional police, he said no, simply. The government is offering no solutions. The police is overstretched. The security forces are overstretched. The weaponry they've got has not been able to stop them. It shows you that there's some lethargy going on, and there's some, immobility, inflexibility in terms of our approach to these issues. It's rather unfortunate. How many times are we going to say we condemn? How many times are we going to say we are sorry? Now is the time for action. Now is the time for the federal government to get up wherever it's sitting and do something and stop this. That's their number one responsibility. And some will suggest that if they cannot do it, then resignation is an option.
All right, now the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lokirabo, is in the news. He says, though insecurity is still a challenge, the present level cannot be compared to the previous one.
I think the Chief of Defense Staff, unfortunately, is playing politics. The previous one, Zamfara, wasn't really a killing field. The previous one, Sokoto, wasn't affected. Katsina wasn't affected. It was limited to the northeast, and by the time they took over, Adamawa had been cleared. It was Borno that was the center of activity or the center of terrorist activity. So I don't understand on what parameters or what indices the Chief of Defense Staff is seeking to measure it. We'd rather our Chief of Defense Staff not play politics, keep strictly to the professional purview that has been designated to him. It's very political to say and to compare without facts and figures. Let him provide the facts and figures. Then some of us will accept and some of us will believe what he's saying.
Now, I have this one here from, Daily Trust. Let me quickly take it. As insecurity worsens across Nigeria, ballooning security votes allocated to all the 36 state governors, politicians, and some stakeholders in the security sector under the guise of tackling different conflicts and killings rocking the length and breadth of the country have been called to question by a report of the Center for Democracy and Development, CCD, released in December 2021. Security votes increasing, but yet insecurity is also worsening. What are the state governors doing with their security vote?
First and foremost, I don't think this is a new story. I think it's an old story. Security votes, as some of us have figured out, have never really been used for any security of any sort. So I think people suggesting that the increase of the security vote should correspond with the increase of security being provided, I think they're living in a faraway cloud cuckoo land. No, security votes have never been commensurate to the ability, to cover the security needs. There's no connection at all with that, and I think that's part of the problem. And I think that's part of the problem. And so we need to find a way to actually account. The security vote, you don't account for it. To it to become transparent, accountable, and let us know the facts and figures, what is expended on. Today, we don't know what is expended on. Therefore, the millions that have been voted, we do not see it on the ground. We do not see the security. We do not see the welfare. We do not see the stability. It's very concerning.
Doctor, let's look at this before we leave this subject matter. If we're striving to be like countries in the West, especially America and the likes, then you would want to ask these countries, when one life is lost, everybody in the country is being touched emotionally or otherwise. But in Nigeria, every day you wake up, you hear so number of people killed, and all we get is condolences. We commiserate. Don't you question the patriotism in this country?
Well, I don't think I question the patriotism. I think I question the response. I question the attitude, and I question the mindset of the people ruling us, particularly at the federal level. I think we take a cue from our president. We take a cue from those at that level. You see, when all these killings are going on, and marriages, weddings, and Aria and light marries and jollies are also going side by side, it tells you something in the psyche of the people that those ones, it doesn't matter. What I would have expected.
Have we become desensitized to killings around us? Is that or to human life? we don't have regard for human life again. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I think we've been gradually becoming desensitized. I think there was a time when this would happen and there would be an uproar and the Senate and the House of Reps will ask the president to come and address the National Assembly. But now nobody cares anymore. It's business as usual. We, for a few minutes, we say our condolences, and it's back to normal until the next killing field arises. I use the word advisedly killing field because when you have 200 people being killed over locations, then this is no longer, you understand, the ordinary, you understand. And when it happens for over 48 hours, it tells you, you understand, the impunity, and it tells you the extent that which these people are prepared to go. I don't think these people are normal. Let's just take it. The people killing are not normal, you understand? So the tactics that you have to use for these people are not the normal tactics at all. These people have been stoned, you understand, up to their eyeballs. They don't even respond to normal carrot approaches. And I think the federal government needs to sit down.
Should we live with abnormal people? Don't we? The federal government needs to eliminate abnormal people.
Well, I didn't think I would hear myself saying this as a lawyer. You understand? But I think, yes, you have to deal with this abnormality with a certain degree of abnormality within the confines of the law, of course. You have to. You understand? And the federal government hasn't shown any willingness to do that so far. We're still using the same tactics that we used, the failed tactics that have failed over this period of time. And I think we need to go beyond that. Somebody needs to go beyond that. If the service chiefs are unable to do it, you understand? I'm not even going to ask for change of service chiefs because the last time we had the change and nothing happened. We need to look at the structures beneath it. We need to look at our anti-terrorism structure, our anti-terrorism forces. We need to look at the structure of the police force and the whole structure and rejig it because without it, we are going to be getting the same results.
All right. Have you been following Have you been following the Olubadan story in Ibadan? There's this headline here. Olubadan, Jagumolu Agbekoya writes Ladoja warns against tampering with chieftaincy. The Jagumolu Agbekoya of Yoruba land, Prince Kunle Adelakun Erubodo, has said the uniqueness of the succession pattern to the throne of the Olubadan of Ibadan must not be tampered with. He went on, and then there's this part he came up with this letter. The letter, which was copied to the Olubadan Council, adds, though our forefathers were not so educated like most of you, the present high chiefs, they were equipped with native intelligence. And then he went on. The letter is a long read, but the headline there, Jagumolu Agbekoya writes Ladoja once again tampering with chieftaincy.
Well, for those of us who are quite old, the Adelakun Erobodo reminds us about the famous politician. So I don't know whether there's a relationship, but I think, of course, there's a relationship. Let's just go back to it. You know, the unique tradition in Ibadan land is based on promotion. It's based on merit. Commanders, there are two sides. That you have the Balogun side, and you have the other side. But there's also a third side. Yes, there are two. There's also a third side, which are not even involved. The Sediki side, they're not involved. That's more of the religious side of things. And what happened was that when Ajimobi came, he saw a situation where Ibadan, as broad and as wide as Ibadan is, only has one traditional Oba. Whereas many of these small, I'm sorry to say, villages and, some might say hamlets have Obas. And he wanted to redress that. But I think he went too far in making some of the Olubadan Council Obas. And I think that's where the confusion is. The matter went to court. You understand? They wanted it to be resolved out of court when the new governor came in, from that point of view. And some of these matters still remain in court. And the argument of some people is that if some of these Obas have been embroiled, so-called Obas as it have been embroiled, then why should they also appropriate and reprobate? Why should they benefit, from the promotion? But the law hasn't changed. The law for succession in Olubadan, in Ibadan land hasn't changed. It's by promotion. And except one ceases to be the Otun Olubadan, as the case might be, they are next in succession. So the controversy is needless. The only one of the Olubadan Council seemingly did not support it wholeheartedly, and that was Ladoja, for his own reasons. Apart from that, everybody supports it. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there's any controversy. I think the next Olubadan of Ibadan is known, from that point of view. And I think within being appointed, all the whatever that Ajimobi tried to set up, I think will be swept into oblivion. It needs to be tidied up legally, but I think that can be sorted out.
All right. I like that slant, legally. Okay, so we don't keep any loose ends, hanging. as it were. Now, the introduction of excise duty of 10 naira per litre on non-alcoholic carbonated and sweetened beverages by the federal government will likely cause a 0.43% contraction in output and about 40% drop in total industry revenues in the next 5 years. What is your take on this move by the federal government?
Well, the drop in revenues, of course, is of a concern because if there's drop in revenue, it affects taxes. But I really think that Coca-Cola, whatever you call it, the Fanta,
no, let's just stay carbonated. You don't want me to fine you for,
Oh, okay, yes, sorry. I do apologize. All those drinks, you understand, whatever they're called, you understand, they're just sugar, basically. They don't really quench your thirst, really, and they don't really give you much in terms of vitamins or whatever, from that point of view. But nonetheless, sometimes we need a bit of sugar, don't we? So for a treat, yes, they're not too bad. So I think putting excise duty on it, insofar as it brings money to the coffers, I don't have a problem. But if it reduces money to the coffers, then we have a problem. Because the whole reason why you're putting taxes on it is to bring more revenue to the federal government. So initially, yes, it might. But if it reduces revenue, then I think that action should be revised. There's no point putting excise duty on something that loses the government revenue rather than gives the government revenue.
Now, according to the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, DG, Nigeria is the 6th highest consumer of soft drinks, but per capita consumption is low. So introducing this will also further, weaken the purchasing power of the people. And also the, okay, please, let's get your reaction.
Yes, it will, but Mr. Tai, also bear in mind that these are not the health fears of drinks, you see. And so some people, the medical experts, will say that's not a bad thing, from that point of view. But I look at it from a broader point of view.
Is that the reason behind it?
No, that's not the reason. That's not the reason. The reason behind it is to raise revenue, of course. But what I'm trying to say is that the whole purpose is defeated. If you want to raise revenue, and by putting these taxes on, you actually decrease revenue. You decrease because people are employed through this. A lot of people are employed through these sales of fizzy drinks, as we call them. You understand? So the federal government needs to be careful that this is not, by this means, you don't put some people out of business, because if the purchasing power of people are reduced and the sales of these products are reduced, it could affect employment of some people. So I think there's a balance to be drawn here. You look at the health of the people, you look at the revenue to be attracted, but you also look at the employment opportunities that might be affected.
All right, Doctor, there's this headline from the Punch newspaper. Anti-Buhari message will mobilize to appear with Kuka before DSS, Christian youths. And the story here for his continued romance with bandits, the Department of State Services should invite popular Islamic cleric Ahmad Gumi for questioning. Christian youths under the aegis of the Christian Association of Nigeria Youth Wing said on Sunday the organization was reacting to the reported invitation of the Catholic Archbishop of Sokoto Diocese, Father Matthew Hassan Kuka, by the DSS for his comments on the state of the nation, in which he pounded the president, Muhammad Buhari. The president of the Youth Wing said this in a statement issued on Sunday titled, "We will mobilize Christian youths across the country to answer DSS invitation of Bishop Kuka." Well, apparently the DSS has written inviting Bishop Hassan Kuka.
Well, I don't care so much for Gumi, you understand. But what I care so much for is that DSS, rather than writing letters, and scripting prose to Kuka, to Reverend Father Kuka, they should be chasing after those killing the 200 people in Zamfara over the weekend. Those are the people they should be expending their energy and their efforts. Those are the people they should be going after. I think they're wasting their time going after Kuka. Kuka is not going to offer them anything, from that point of view. But the second point which I take is that if you are going to be inviting Kuka and writing in prose, do the same thing to Gumi and do the same thing to other people. Let's be even-handed, you understand? Let's extend this invitation all around. And let's not restrict this invitation to a section or to a particular person. But I make my point again. The emphasis should be chasing these terrorists and chasing these so-called characters who are going about maiming, killing, kidnapping, and causing maximum pain to Nigerian people. That's where they should be concentrating their efforts. Until they do that, not many people will take them that too seriously.
All right, we have this one here from Lagos. Lagos nurses yet to call off strike, set to call off strike Monday. Sanwo-Olu grants request after hours of extensive meeting with the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Nurses in Lagos on Sunday night agreed to suspend a planned 3-day warning strike as soon as a circular containing the agreement is issued by the government on Monday, and the same is discussed at an emergency congress of the Nurses Union.
Strike. And when the federal government, sorry, not the federal government now, it's the state government, and when the governments, whether state or federal, are unable to prioritize their needs and their requirements, yes, we have to draw a line. You understand? Is strike always the way forward? In this instance, this incentive strike has worked. But I think also there should be more imaginative ways to address this issue when the state governments or federal government or whatever governments are falling below expectation. For the medical area, for those of us who don't have enough money to go private, you know that the strike causes untold hardship. So welcome development. Thank God for a listening governor. But we must get to a stage, where strikes are not the order of the day in the health sector from that point of view.
Well, okay. Let's move on to this story. There's this new variant, this COVID-19 variant in Cyprus, and it's called the Deltacron, a combination of the Delta variant and the Omicron variant. And then the question is, shouldn't we be worried? There's a combination of both right now. And then what are the proactive measures Nigeria is taking to ensure that this doesn't come into this country and ravage or cause a health pandemic in the country?
The truth about it is that Nigerians are not taking this too seriously anymore. The pandemic has been on for some time. Unfortunately, a number of people have lost their lives. But when we look at the impact on the Nigerian society, we see that people have relaxed, and yet business goes on as usual. People have relaxed, and yet the impact is not as severe as it were in Europe. To many people, they feel that these are just tales and stories. But they're not tales and stories. Omicron or Delta, whatever it's called, is real. And I think the federal government should continue to emphasize at the borders, at the airports, all the protocols that have been in place. But I also think that the social distancing needs to continue to be maintained. The use of masks and all those sort of things also need to be maintained. Let me say it. People are getting the vaccinations, and the vaccinations are helping. But what we also know is that these viruses can break through vaccinations. So I think the first step is to increase the vaccinations that are going on, the booster jabs for those that need booster, but also to find a way to maintain some of the social distances. We need not close businesses, we need not close schools, but people need to be aware that the protocols are in place, and they need to emphasize, especially in public places, so that at least we protect ourselves, and so that at least we do not bear the brunt. My concern is not so much with the active people that are active and healthy. It's with the grandparents. It's with those that have underlying conditions. Those are the ones that we need to care about and be worried about, and that's why we need those protocols in place.
How do we maintain social distancing when Nigerians are known for the Owambe kind of thing, and then even those that are meant to enforce it are the ones even taking part in most of these Owambe things?
Yeah, I think the Owambe thing is despicable. I think it's uncalled for. I'm not going to participate in any Owambe. Well, I don't usually participate in it anyway. I won't go to any Owambe because basically you're exposing yourself, especially when it was not just the Owambe, you understand. Even the churches, you understand, and even the mosques and so on and so forth, where people are congregated together and in places at the same spot without taking the necessary protection, are also places where all these things spread. So I think it's problematic, but we have to find a way. We did it before. We have the social distancing before. We just need to find some discipline, and the government needs to enforce to a certain degree. But you see, where people haven't eaten 2 square meals or 1 square meal a day, people are more concerned with hustling rather than protecting themselves from any virus, which may or may not affect them.
All right. Former governor of Osun State and current Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, was yesterday absent at when the National Reconciliation Committee of the All Progressives Congress, APC, visited the state. And now you can imagine that Aregbesola and, the governor for Osun State, Oyetola, are not, they can't see eye to eye at the moment. And people feel that this may affect the chances of the incumbent for a re-election.
Yeah, there's always rumors of political disagreements between office holders. Usually, some of these rumors tend to be unfounded. But the fact that Aregbesola was unable to turn up is actually speaking to the issue, what exactly is going on. And yes, to the PDP, it might be an opportunity. That's if they grab it. If they take it, it might be an opportunity for them. But I think what people's concern will be, of course, is better governance in Osun State. One thing that you give to Oyetola is that when Oyetola came, that a lot of the inadequacies or a lot of the things that went wrong, some people will say, during the time of Aregbesola were corrected and improved upon governance, and it's made some significant progress. So I think I think Oyetola will be betting on the fact that he's done creditably well to get him a second term. But you know that all politics is local. It's not just about what you do on the ground. It's also about the perceived unity or disunity that is there. So I hope that they will resolve their differences. They are both stable mates, or they are both proteges, if I may say, of Tinubu. So I think at some point in time, Tinubu might call them together to knock their heads together to sort this out once and for all.
All right, we'll go on a short break now, and when we come back, we'll open the phone lines and read some messages on YouTube. The numbers to call will be 0705 5000 949 and 0809 7000 949. Stay tuned, don't go away. Still the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9.
Every kid is amazing at something. Give them amazing day. Amazing day instant cereal. Give them amazing day. Same calcium as a glass of milk. For healthy bones and teeth. Excellent source of protein. For daily growth and strength. Calcium, protein, vitamin A, dietary fiber.
Golden Penny Amazing Day instant cereal. Feed their amazing.
Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ nípasẹ̀ ìròyìn BBC ní Yorùbá. Nítorí kí o tó lè tayọ, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n. Ní ìmísí pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti ibi àti káàkiri àgbáyé. Nígbà tí o bá ní ìmọ̀ nípa ohun tó ń lọ ní àgbáyé, o lè ṣe ohunkóhun. Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ. Wá BBC News Yorùbá kàn.
Àmàlà àtẹwédú ọ̀gá ni nínú oúnjẹ tí ń ṣara lóore ńlẹ̀ yìí. Bí n bá jàmàlà tán máa làágùn, ara mi á sì yá gágá. Ẹ ti ń jàmàlà ti pẹ́, èlùbọ́ kan ti wá jáde báyìí tá a pẹ̀lú vitamin A tí ń ṣàtọ́kùn àlàáfíà lágọ̀ọ́ ara. Titan Yam Flour, èlùbọ́ Titan. Àrà ọ̀tọ̀ èlùbọ́ tó ń jáde láti iléeṣẹ́ Titan Farms tẹ́ ẹ ti mọ̀ bí ẹni mowó. Nílẹ̀ yìí tó fi dókè òkun, èlùbọ́ Titan ni gbogbo ẹni tí kì í fìlera wọn ṣeré ń jẹ báyìí. Ọ̀nà ìgbàlódé la fi gbé jáde láyìíká tó mọ́tótó. Ìròyìn ayọ̀ ni pé ẹ̀dínwó ìdá 13% lórí àpò mẹ́wàá tẹ́ ẹ bá rà. Láǹfààní tẹ́ jẹ lásìkò òpin ọdún yìí. Owó péréte lèlùbọ́ Titan bá jáde níléeṣẹ́ Titan Farms. Láti wá kófà aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ yìí, ẹ máa pe 0906 007 9714. Èlùbọ́ Titan, gbádùn ẹ̀mí ẹ pẹ̀lú àmàlà tá a fi èlùbọ́ Titan rò.
It's the time of the year. Come, let's chill together. Pop Chivita, make we jolly. Ooh, yeah. All over Naija, anywhere you day. Share Chivita with your family and friends. Enjoy this Christmas. Let's celebrate with Chivita. Ooh, yeah.
Juice up this season with the special Chivita Christmas packs available in stores near you.
All right, welcome back. It's the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. I am Chike Ubogu.
And I am Olutayo Ogunade. Well, we have this one here on YouTube. Sikiru Giwa, good morning. For how long will Malam Garba Shehu expend unnecessary grammar as regards the newest massacre in Zamfara State? Why not consider state police for now and stop this deceitful act? That's from Sikiru Giwa. Drop a comment on our YouTube, 32FM 949 Ibadan, and the lines are now open. 009 7000 949 0705 5000 949. Good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Alaja Kala from Coca-Cola.
Go ahead.
I think the invitation of Reverend Kuka by DSS should not be a surprise to us because that is a trend we've been seeing under this government. They dissipated energy of frivolity and leave out a gloss over what are substance. So, as the Dr. Rally opined, that instead of dissipating more energy on getting arrested, they should go after, they should find a way to know who are behind the killing in Savannah and to send the intelligence report to the military so that they will do what they expect of them. But be that is I think we should rally around anybody that the government want to victimize as a people and tell them that they should not major in the minor. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling 08097,949 and 0705 500949. Hello. Hello, good morning. Kindly turn down the volume on your radio set so we can hear ourselves better.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning
to you. Yeah, this is the first of the mountain.
All right, let's have your thoughts.
On the killing of POS in the Red State, honestly, the issue of good security in the Red State was concerning everyone involved. That is the truth of the matter. We are only appealing to this present administration in the Red State, led by Governor Shemak, to be more proactive on the issue of security. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you for calling 0705 500949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm John Njoko. I'm calling from Challenge.
Right.
And I want to react on DPP's comments while the exonerated Johnny College student. Let me tell you, though the death of Roman is very painful. Some of the students who are alleged to have been responsible for the untimely death were, however, discharged. However, it is a fact that no citizen should be put to the rigors of trial in a criminal proceeding unless available evidence points prima facie to his commission in that offense, in the commission of the offense. Or let me say, suspicion alone is not enough to justify preparing a charge against person. There must be evidence linking the suspect with that offense. DPP has exonerated those students based on the medical report or the autopsy report submitted to it by an expert. So we should not blame DPP could have not done anything, or they couldn't do more than what they have done. There is nothing anyone will do in a murder case except there is a report from a medical expert indicating the cause of death. John Njoko is my name. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling.
Thank you, John Njoko. 009-7000-949. Kafar Adewale Rapchuri, DSS inviting Reverend Kuka was a symbol of nepotism practiced by this government. What was the offense of Reverend Father Kuka? Why is Sheikh Gumi going the streets or walking the street free as if nothing has happened? Hello, good morning. Uh-oh. Please move
All right,
away
we can
from
hear
the
you.
radio.
Move away from the radio. You turn it off.
Hello, I'm Ifeanyi from Oyo.
All right, let's have your thoughts quickly.
Concerning the Olubadan issue, are you with me?
Go ahead. We can hear you.
So I don't want anybody to be deceiving us here in Oyo State. I was listening to one of the radio stations yesterday. I don't want to mention the radio station.
Okay.
Where the all kingmakers were invited to that radio station. One of the kings that Ajimobi gave crown, he now come out and telling us that there wasn't anything like this in court. That's point number one. The second one is this: when the presenter was asking all the kingmaker that if give that Otun Olubadan of Ibadan, which means Senator Olekan Balogun, if he gives him another crown, where we put the first one, and they said that if he gives him another crown, that will be aside. Is it done like that? It is never done anyway. But I think they are just deceiving us. They know where they are going. Thank you.
All right, that's your own personal opinion, his own thoughts. He's asking the question: what if Senator Lekon Balogun becomes the king?
I recall you asked the same question on Saturday.
Yeah.
What happens to that one? Will it be returned to Aliwo?
Okay, and who picks it up?
And
what happens? It becomes another issue. 0705 5000 949.
In all of this, we pray for wisdom for the governor. And also, doctor spoke about the legal, angle to the whole thing. Everything be settled amicably. And let's move forward.
All right.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, this is Fagbemi.
Let's have your thoughts.
You see, the statement by the army chief that security is better now. You can't expect anything better than that from them. This administration, General Buhari, has been all out to give Nigeria defeat almost every time. We have killings every day now, and they are saying security is better. Whom are they fooling? They are deceiving themselves. By the way, they are the Olubadan Tosu. People should leave Ladoja out of this. It is not the creation of Babalaja at all. But the problem was created by the last administration led by Ajimobi, including this Otun group. You see, they know that this thing is going to bring problems, and they still insisted on it. The only solution now is for them to go and withdraw the case pending in court and embrace the Ladoja group. They only targeted the problem on Baba Ladoja at that time. It is political, and it should not be. So, good morning.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
I'm allergic to the
All right, good morning.
You see, on the issue of insecurity, this government needs for the will. The will is not there. This government has divided Nigerians more than any government. Imagine, every now and then you hear of killings, maiming, murdering, we're in a state of anomaly. Where life is nasty, brutish, and short, according to Musa. Where are we going? When will it stop? It should go beyond mere condolences and we are sorry. The capacity of the government is not enough. They are going to short of ideas. That is the problem we are having. And we cannot continue like this because the killing is too much. And on the case of Kuka, yes, let Christian association, like I said, disunity has been made the forefront of this government. Otherwise, it will not be siding one tribe or one ethnic group or one religious group against the other. What has Kuka done that Gumi has not done? Gumi knows where the bandits are. You cannot pick up Gumi and let them follow them through. You see, Christians should follow Kuka and let's see what happens. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you.
All right, thank you, Olaji, for calling. 0705 5000 949 0809 7000 949. Okay, right. Doctor, you want to react to one or two of these stories? Okay, what our listener has said.
Yes, I mean, they're basically. I just want to go back to the Olubadan issue. I think there's some court cases that are presently in the court. And I think once those cases are withdrawn, it's going to make the whole thing neater. The problem is that some of the people who want to be Olubadan themselves, you understand, are court cases. So once that is resolved, out of court and that sort of thing, I think this whole Olubadan thing can go on seamlessly and smoothly. And as for the Kuka thing, I think they've already said it. I think people should be treated even-handedly. Gumi seems to know where these people are. He seems to interact with them. So why isn't he being invited for a chat? Let's treat them equally. Let's treat them fairly, but more fundamentally, go after the bandits. Go after the intelligence that leads you to them.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
All
right.
On Saturday, you had the man about the crown. He said the crown is not for Aliwo or any other place. It's an honorary crown. That's number one.
Not honorary. It's not honorary.
Number two, there's only one suit in court. The other group joined the suit. If Ladoja will join the suit,
the people that join, the high chief or some valuable people, if the landowner drug it, they join it, the case is dead naturally. We should not blame anybody. That Ajimo be me here, but he did not tell the true picture of what he wants to do. Have a nice time.
All right. Thank you for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to
This
you.
is John Laraju from Ado. On the issue of inviting the cooker, Bishop Cooker, and ignore the Gumi, this is injustice. And where there is injustice, it's going to be difficult to have a peace. That's why we should stop preaching the love to us. Let us embrace justice. So when there is no justice, look at those people, the group that are now saying about arresting Cooker now. So that is injustice. That's why there won't be any peace. About the Delta variant or Delta Crown, to me, if we are talking about distance or no distance, look at, if you watch the game yesterday, FA game, you will see how people are embracing each other. To me, it's like a policies they were playing about this. We say distance in Africa. What about that? Those that even get the vaccination over there, they are even getting that various. To me, we just know how to manage it. We just stop politics on this issue. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. Doctor, your final thoughts, we have to go.
Yeah, I think there's a certain arrogance that seems to be coming out, even if this government has failed in terms of security. I think a little more humility from this government, admitting they failed, admitting they don't have the solutions, and maybe we'll begin to find solutions from that admission.
Thank you, Dr. Lord Jedoku, for your time this morning.
Thank you.
All right, my name is Chike Ubogu, wishing you a very pleasant and positive week ahead.
I am Olutayo Gwade. Up next is Smart Kids Show with, is it Auntie Yellow? Okay. Do have a great Monday, and bye for now.
FM 94.9, filling the world with laughter.